Good morning, and what a beautiful way to welcome you to our Poland event. We're so excited to have our friends back again. You may remember we chatted with Poland a couple of months ago, and things looked very different then, and I'm pleased to say they look much brighter now, and Poland is now open. So we will dive into to all of that in just a bit. So we're really pleased today to bring back Magdalena from the Polish Tourism Organization, and she has brought together some of her friends that are really going to give you some unique insight into not only how to arrive there, but also things that you can do there. And last time Magdalena's presentation was so spectacular. We got so many comments because so many people said, I didn't know you could. And I think that was the nature of her presentation. So we're going to look quite into some more interesting, diverse opportunities for you to experience Poland in a different way if you already have, and then a fresh view for clients who never have been but perhaps always wanted to go. So I'd like to go around the room here and welcome again Magdalena from the Polish Tourism Organization. Just give us a wave and say hi. And then we've got Simone.
Hello, hi from Krakow, Poland.
Definitely the best dressed today. And then we've got Michalina from LAT, who is the Polish National Carrier.
Welcome everyone from Chicago. Hi.
So glad to have you all. So we are going to, without further ado, turn it over to Magdalena, and she's got a beautiful presentation with a lovely video that I'm sure you're going to just be daydreaming about after you see it. So I will turn it over to her to kick us off today.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here, especially that Poland has just reopened, and I will tell a little bit more about that during my short presentation. But please make sure you wait till the end of this event because all three parts are going to be really, really exciting. You will have a chance to learn some information about Poland, but also actually see Poland and taste it. So just be patient. And finally, you will get to know the offer of our national carrier, LOT Polish Airlines. Michalina will just tell you how to get to Poland in the most convenient and safe way. So please make sure you stay till the end. And I will start with a short video about Poland. It's really short, but it will give you a nice preview of what to expect when you visit Poland, which is now possible. So let's start with a video and then with a presentation.
Poland, everything you want.
This short video gave you a nice preview of our nature. And the topic of today's presentation is Poland, a top destination in the new reality. And this is our nature that we are focusing right now, and we have so much to offer. But please let me start with great news. Poland is now open for American and Canadian travelers. The United States and Canadians, nationals and legal residents who are fully vaccinated can enter Poland with no quarantine required. Those who are not fully vaccinated can still travel, but they must quarantine for 10 days. This does not apply to children under 12. So if you are fully vaccinated, you can hop on the plane and spend this summer in Poland. And I strongly encourage you to do so. And in today's short presentation, I will give you some basic insights into traveling to Poland. We'll start with basic facts about Poland. We'll talk about positioning in this unprecedented time, how to sell Poland in the new reality. We'll have a look at key selling points, at target group profiles. I will share with you what Americans and Canadians love about Poland based on our experience. We will have a closer look at Poland's amazing nature. We will have a look at seasonal activities. I will give you some itinerary examples. And then finally, most recent praise for Poland and some useful resources. So let's start with some basic facts. Those of you who have never been to Poland may want to know that Poland is located in Central Europe. We are right in the middle of the European continent. We are part of the European Union within the Schengen area. However, we do not use euro. We use our own currency, Polish zloty. $1 is approximately 4 zlotys. This is great news because it gives you an enormous value for money when you're traveling to Poland from North America. It's a year-round destination. The climate is mild. I usually compare Poland to East Coast in the US. However, the country itself is much smaller than the United States or Canada. It's about the size of Arizona or New Mexico, so it's easy to travel around Poland and see pretty much all of the country in during just one vacation. Poland is very diverse in landscape. We have both the coast, mountains, thousands of lakes, so there is a great variety of safe hideaways to choose from. English is widely spoken. This is a question that I'm often being asked. There is absolutely no problem in being understood in Poland and getting what you want, especially in cities or tourist attractions. Our healthcare system is very modern and accessible. This is great news nowadays. We follow safety protocols so you can feel secure when traveling to Poland. The more so that you can get there easily with direct flights. So you don't need to change flights somewhere in one of the European hubs. You can get there directly from North America, both the US and Canada, by LOT Polish Airlines, but my friend Michalina will tell you more about it. Now let's focus on positioning, how to sell Poland now that you finally can. Poland is a less known European destination. That's how we like to talk about Poland. It's definitely a destination on the rise. It doesn't belong to the most frequently visited countries in Europe. However, right before the pandemic in 2019, we hit our record. We welcomed almost 20 million tourists in 2019, and that put us in world's top 20 most visited countries in the world. So definitely a demand is high, and we believe that in post-pandemic times, countries like Poland stand a great chance because the world of travel has been sort of reset, and we are now open to entirely new destinations. Safety comes first, and Poland is super safe and easily accessible. It's diverse. It offers you both great European heritage that is so beloved by American travelers, but also a lot of space and outdoor options. Finally, Poland is budget-friendly. It's a destination that offers great value for your money. And it's also American and Canadian friendly. We have a very good record of hosting travelers from North America. We appreciate them. We are very happy with the way they are, their openness, friendliness, straightforwardness. So we are always, as Poles, very happy to welcome Americans and Canadians. We have some sort of special connection to you. Key selling points in the new reality. We had to redefine ourselves a little bit, but not too much, because Poland has never been super crowded. It's still kind of undiscovered, which is definitely an asset right now. We are right in the middle of Europe, but we are still unknown. We are not too popular, not too many people that you may feel afraid of in terms of being in large crowds of people. We are budget friendly, as I mentioned, which is very important right now for travelers, because we have definitely revised our vacation budgets. We offer great European heritage. We have over 1,000 years of history, 16 UNESCO sites. We are very important in understanding European history. because Poland played a very important part in World War II, in the fall of communism. We are also an important part of Christian and Jewish heritage. So this makes us stand out. And what also makes us stand out is a very diverse nature, a great combination of both seaside and mountains. We have great cuisine, and it has always been like this. Our food has always attracted travelers. And finally, we have received international praise for safety. Throughout the pandemic, we were very often pointed out as the safe destination, as a destination that follows the safety protocols. But I will tell you about that a little bit later. Now let's have a quick look at target group profile. Who is most likely to travel to Poland, to buy a trip to Poland? From our experience, from our surveys, the conversations we have with travelers, it's on one hand, baby boomers, a group that has traveled the world, that has time. They often have money, but they are open to new destinations because they have already seen a lot of places. However, safety matters for that group, and Poland is a perfect fit. On the other hand, Poland is popular among American and Canadian millennials. These are budget travelers. They are open to fresh, new destinations. They want to visit Europe, but they want to experience it in an original way. They want to create original content for social media. They want to tell their friends about places that nobody else has visited yet. So these two groups are leading. We also have 10 million Polish Americans, and this is a group that very often visits Poland for family reasons. They often want to see the country of their ancestors for the first time. So it's important to stir that interest and communicate to that group. Another group are Jewish Americans. Very often, their origin is Eastern European, and a lot of them can trace their family in Poland. So this group is also important, especially that we have a lot of places related to Jewish heritage, and also places related to World War II, the Holocaust. So this is an important reason for Jewish Americans to visit Poland. Statistically, Poland attracts travelers who are interested in culture, in history, UNESCO sites, but also nature and culinary tourism. They like city hopping. We have amazing cities, so Poland is just a great destination for that. They like walking tours, visiting museums and memorials, but also shopping, food tasting, or outdoor activities. We are now working on attracting American families to come to Poland. Poland is a great place where you can see Europe, learn about European history and culture, see the works of art, the examples of great architecture. But at the same time, it's budget friendly. It's way more affordable than Western Europe. So we are working strongly on that group now. In terms of America's favorites, for those of you who have never been to Poland or never sold Poland, Americans love our cities, which are really amazing in terms of old town parks, old town market squares, beautiful churches, historic architecture. Krakow, Warsaw, Gdańsk, Poznań, Wrocław, these are the most beautiful big cities in Poland. Americans also love our UNESCO sites, and we have 16 of them. So there's a lot of places to choose from, ranging from medieval castles and towns to places that are absolutely unique, like Wieliczka Salt Mine or Białowieża Forest. Also, we have some really great World War II memorials, like Hitler's headquarters or Nazi concentration camp in Auschwitz. These are the places that, of course, evoke very strong and sad memories, but they are also a passionate, fascinating trip into the past, and they give you a perfect understanding of modern history. We also have wonderful palaces and castles. One of them you can see in the picture. It's Książ Castle in Lower Silesia. Travelers from North America also appreciate places related to life and death of our famous composer Frédéric Chopin. So, for example, places in Warsaw or his birthplace, Żelazowa Wola, and Christmas markets. It's a big hit. And each major city in Poland has their own unique Christmas market. This is always a great experience. So Christmas markets start end of November and they last through the beginning of January. So this is also something that's very popular. And finally, our food and shopping. Our food is really delicious, but I will let Szymon show you that and tell you some more about it. Whereas shopping, we are great at offering really good prices. A typical souvenir from Poland is amber jewelry or Bolesławiec pottery or some other examples of local handicraft. Let's have a really quick look at Polish nature. Poland translates into the land of fields, but we are in no way flat, as many people assume. We have high mountains in the south, alpine style mountain resorts. We are a skiing destination too. The Tatra Mountains are the highest. They have about 8,000 feet. But we also have 300 miles of beautiful, pristine sandy beaches on the Baltic coast, over 7,000 lakes. Poland is also very green. We've got lots of forests. Many options for biking, hiking, water sports, camping, and caravanning. So I strongly recommend to explore Polish nature, especially that nowadays we are looking for space and safety. As I mentioned, Poland is a year-round destination. So in terms of planning your activities, you can pick a different season. The peak of the traveler season is mid-June through August. That's school holiday in Poland. So if you are willing to explore Poland with even less people than usual, pick a spring or fall. Spring is perfect for city hopping, walking tours, sightseeing, as the days are long and it's not too hot. Summer is perfect for the Baltic coast, sailing in Masurian Lake District, or rafting in mountain rivers. Fall is my favorite season for hiking and biking in the mountains to see the beautiful colors and also explore mountains where there's almost nobody there. And finally, winter is perfect for skiing and Christmas markets. So depending on the favorite activities, you have to pick your favorite season to visit Poland. I promised to share some itinerary examples. So before the pandemic, Poland used to be a very popular add-on to European itineraries, including Czech Republic, Hungary, Austria, Germany. According to latest surveys, this will change, and travelers are now willing to travel to one place rather than travel between a couple of countries. And if they choose one country, they decide to stay longer. And I strongly encourage you to do so in Poland. Although only 7 days give you a pretty good idea of what to expect in the country. A 7-day Polish itinerary could start in Warsaw, in the capital, and then moving towards the south with a stop in Częstochowa. That's a very popular Catholic sanctuary. And then to Krakow, a magnificent city in the south with some great examples of architecture, but also with great surroundings, because from Krakow, it's very close to Wieliczka Royal Salpine, as well as Auschwitz, the Nazi concentration camp. and also to Zakopane, the capital of Polish mountains, a beautiful mountain town. And from there, you can explore the Polish highlands, including hiking and wine tasting at our vineyards. Whereas a longer itinerary, a 12-day itinerary, could allow you to explore northern Poland as well. So starting from Warsaw and traveling north to Mazurian Lake District with a stop in Święta Lipka, a nice sanctuary, then Hitler's headquarters, Wolfslayer, and then a stop in Malbork, the biggest red brick castle, medieval castle in the world, our UNESCO site. Then Gdańsk and Sopot, beautiful coastal cities with wonderful historic architecture. Then south to Toruń, a medieval town related to the life of Nicolaus Copernicus, a famous astronomer. Toruń today is a university town, but it's also called the capital of Polish gingerbread. And then from Toruń, another stop is Wrocław, a beautiful city in Western Poland that used to be German at some point. It has a very unique architecture and over 100 bridges. And then the southern part of the itinerary that we have already discussed. So this is just a really quick look into how to organize a trip to Poland if you have 7 or 12 days. This itinerary can be found on the website Real Poland. That's a local DMC. And of course, there are many, many more options. Finally, I promised to share some praise for Poland. Kraków, right before the pandemic, Kraków made it to the prestigious New York Times 52 places to visit in 2020 list. And we will move to Krakow in just a second, so please stay tuned. Another important award that we received are the golden pins that were awarded to 16 places in Poland, basing on the preferences and reviews of the users of Google Maps. So we are very happy that as many as 16 places got that beautiful award. And Gdańsk and Warsaw were noted as top 20 safest cities in Europe by European Best Destinations. Also, Gdańsk and Warsaw were noted as top 20 safest Christmas markets. So all these distinctions were awarded during the pandemic, which is very important for us. Poznań made it to top 20 best Christmas markets and also top 20 American-friendly destinations. And finally, Hel Peninsula is considered one of top safest beaches in Europe, also during the pandemic. So this is something that we are very proud of, and I hope this can help you believe that Poland is really a very safe destination. And finally, I would like to leave you with some useful resources on how to plan a trip to Poland. You will learn more by visiting our website, poland.travel, as well as sitepoland.com. The other one, the second one, is more industry-oriented, whereas poland.travel is a typical website for travelers. And we also created a list of accommodations that are certified for safety. These are the hotels that follow the official safety protocols during the pandemic. And you can find them at the site bezpieczny obiekt pod.gov.pl. I think it's easier for you just to copy the link. And current travel restrictions can be followed on the website by Polish border guard. And if you have any questions, please contact Poland Tourism Office in North America. We will be happy to assist you with any questions that you may have. And that's the end of my short presentation. And now I would like to invite you to Krakow.
Well, that was beautiful. And I think it's so nice because you were able to showcase the diversity of the destination. I think some people think cities and, don't really have the awareness of all of the nature. You said hiking, which struck me, and you said food, which again said, okay, let me go book my ticket. So I think it sounds fantastic. And thank you so much for, also showing how people can travel. I think that's one of the biggest questions we have from agents now is, how do I put this all together? All of this is great, but how does it work? So you really, really tied that up in the end really, really nicely. So I thank you for that. Alrighty, so we are going to bring you a little bit of a different treat. We're going to bring you someone on location on the streets of Krakow who's going to be coming to us, showcasing some of the diverse culinary opportunities one can have. I think, all across Poland, it's a delicious experience, but we're really excited to have Szymon here, who handles immersive culinary tours in Krakow, and he is coming to us live from the streets. Why don't you say hello and tell us where you are?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Gabriela, I'm really, curious why you didn't ask me about this funny hat that I'm wearing so far.
My next question, but go ahead. Set the scene up.
All right. Yeah. This is actually what we call krakuska, a Krakow hat, basically. It's a part of the traditional folk dress from this wonderful city, the city of heritage, the city of culture. This is 100% with the peacock feather and with these colorful ribbons. You have to have two things on this particular hat. And we are actually standing at the moment on one of the most beautiful streets of the old town in Krakow called Kanonicza Street, Cannon Street, just nearby the royal castle, which I'm going to show you in a minute from the terrace of this wonderful building, which is actually a 16th century house, a 16th century palace, now converted into a very luxurious but still value for money hotel, 5-star hotel called Copernicus. And we are going to enter this hotel. I'll show you the view from the terrace, and then a little bit of the treat from the restaurant here. Let's go inside.
Great. As he's getting all set up, I should mention, when you're walking around Poland, in so many of these cities in the charming villages, it's almost as if you're walking into a fairy tale, but real life. So as you can see, he's in this dramatic location, this beautiful, I saw a Relais Chateau logo on the outside of that building. So I'll let him expand on that a little bit more about where he is and what he is going to showcase to you.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You spotted it right. This is a part of the global brand of Relais and Chateaus. And we are actually in the lobby, which is also a restaurant. This is where you can have your breakfast, where you can have your 7-course tasting dinner with one of the most renowned chefs of Krakow, which I hope we're going to see in a few minutes. But first, like I said, I would like to show you the top of this hotel, which is the terrace. And we are in the very, very historical building, and there's so many of them in Krakow. There's absolutely, this is a city which is filled with history, which is filled with legends and great stories. Let me just bring the elevator, and hopefully we will get to the top of this wonderful location right in the heart of Krakow. You don't get any better address than here, because you are 150 meters from the royal castle, 250 meters from the main market square, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute.
This is a first for us. Up in the elevator, so we're not going to lose them, but we're going to keep them chatting. But yeah, I think we can still hear them absolutely. But I think the view will be well worth it once you get up.
This is a very short ride. This is just 3 stories. So we are already almost at the top
All right, perfect. So as we wait for him to make his dramatic exit out of the hotel, I think it's important also, just on a side note, before he goes into some of the experiences, how important it is to really learn to live like a local wherever you go, especially in Poland. And a lot of that comes from the food, from the traditional to the modern to the upsurge of new, and innovative menus on different restaurants that have come about. And especially now, I think it's really important to bring that cultural connection together. And you can do that as simply as eating in a very small bistro or cafe, or maybe perhaps eating, lunch with a local in somebody's home that's prepared something in their kitchen for you, all the way up to something very, very high end and exclusive, perhaps at a chef's table with a celebrated chef. So just to kind of put a pin on that, it really, really is very important, as much as it is in any destination, but here so much, because the culture and the food is so intertwined.
To visit Krakow, usually travelers start in Warsaw. However, a lot of Polish Airlines also allows you to travel directly to Krakow. So if you only have a little bit of time, I strongly recommend visiting the south of Poland, and Krakow is a perfect gateway to explore it. So I'm sure Michalina will tell you about all the options, and I guess I'm happy to announce that the lot has just opened a seasonal connection from New York to Krakow. This is new. And it's really a great option to explore one of the most beautiful parts of Poland.
Excellent. And then, I'll ask another question that that wanted to touch on, that we did get some inquiries from our audience in advance. Talk about the spa culture or the wellness, or are there therapeutic resorts and hotels that people can visit in Poland? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yes, we are a great spa destination, and it's so much more affordable than anywhere else, really. And we have been observing a great increase of interest from American travelers, because the health insurance in the US is so expensive, and especially after the pandemic, we have just stopped consulting doctors because we were afraid people were limiting their doctor's appointments. So this is like the best time to really take care of your well-being, of your health. And Poland is perfect for it. We have a lot of health resorts, and by health resort, I mean a town or a is proven to be good for you, because it either has a good air or water, like thermal waters, or other natural resources that are really good for your health. So we have used those places to build wonderful hotels, spa hotels, that offer excellent service, excellent quality, but are still very affordable. Southern Poland is a great pick, because in the highlands, you have many beautiful spots and many great facilities, but also northern Poland, the Baltic coast. It's the air there is wonderful. And you also have a number of excellent spa hotels there. But they are scattered all over the country. And they range from both very modern facilities to boutique spa hotels in medieval castles or 19th century palaces. So it's a lot of to choose from, and I really recommend taking a closer look at that offer.
Well, all of that sounds more than needed right now, so that is beautiful. I think we're going to bring back Shimon. It looks like he has made it, hopefully, to his destination at the top of the terrace, which I can't wait to see. So we'll turn it over to him.
So here we are at the top of Krakow, and this is exactly what I wanted to show you over here on your side here. This is the Royal Castle of Krakow. This is extremely hot day in Krakow today. This is around 90 degrees. So you probably a little bit dark because of the contrast of the camera, but let me show you another side of it. Now, this is the terrace where you can enjoy this wonderful view with the great churches of Krakow just in the back, and looking again at the great Royal Castle of Krakow, the place of the royal coronations, the place of the history of this wonderful country, the country of Poland. Now, as I mentioned, this is really, really hot. So I would rather prefer to go down with the elevator and meet you in 60 seconds when we will be down in the air-conditioned restaurant. So if you allow me to do this, Gabriela, is that all right to do this?
Go right ahead.
All right, so I'll be coming down. Sorry if I break up for the elevator ride. We see each other in a few seconds.
Okay, and while we're waiting for him to make that brief journey, it was thrilled just before that we were able to kind of fit that in with Magdalena, just regarding the spa and the revitalization options. I just wanted to address that for a moment because, as you know, that's a really rising trend in travel, and especially in Europe, people are intrigued. And she made a great point. People are sort of hesitant to to go to doctors at the moment, so you should capitalize on that and think about how you can twist and sell that to your clients, how you can turn a natural spa journey centered around a resort and a new destination into their trip. So that is something that we really want to have a look at moving forward. And as I mentioned, the culinary and the nature as well. And if you do get in touch with her, I'm sure that what she can do is assist you with a variety of DMCs that are very, very schooled in all of these niches that she can put you in touch with to be able to sort of go forward and complete your itinerary planning. Okay, I'd love to ask you too, because another question had come up. Are there any new hotels that have opened in the recent past or even during the pandemic, or has anybody made any changes that we should know about? Any new brands moving in? Give us a little bit of an update on some of the new hotel product, if any.
Yes, as you may expect, the pandemic has not been very dynamic in new openings. We are still waiting for some of the hotels to reopen. And it should be happening all through summer till September, October. That's what I've been told by hotel managers. So there may be not so many new openings. However, one exciting opening happened just right before the pandemic. It was the Nobu Hotel in Warsaw. I'm sure you may know it. And it's located right in the very center of Warsaw. And beautiful. This is one of the However, I hope to be able to share some new exciting news within the coming months, but we are still waiting for the travel industry to rebuild itself and to be really, really ready to hit with new openings.
Wonderful news. Okay, and it looks like we have Shimon back, so we'll turn it over to him in the hotel.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just made my way down with the elevator, and look where I am. I am in the great restaurant of the Hotel Copernicus, and I would like you to meet a friend of mine who is one of the best chefs of Krakow, Marcin Filipkiewicz. Come on, Marcin. Czołem. Musisz się pochylić. You need to go a little bit lower. This is Marcin, and this is his wonderful fine dining creation, which I'm going to taste. Just to sum up this experience of Krakow, because I told you already that Krakow is a little bit of the value for money destination at the moment. And I would say that's even more than it used to be in the past, because right now you really can enjoy this beautiful city, spending your money in a way you feel this is best, enjoying the best that Krakow has to offer. Great hotels, great cuisine, fantastic museums, and a lot of other opportunities as well. So you are more than welcome in Krakow. I believe in the last 16 or 18 months, we really felt like it is to miss the overseas travelers, and we really hope that you will come back very soon. Jeez.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. We look forward to sending you those travelers. This has been a nice little insight.
Oh, thank
into
you.
We don't get to see too often. Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to pull it all together. How do we arrive in Poland? How do you get there? How do you travel there? And once you're there, what do you do to get between city and city? So we've got Michalina here from LOT, who is the Polish national air carrier, and she's going to take us through some of the logistics and any updates on new service. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Gabriela. Thank you, Shimon and Magda. That was a great introduction to our beautiful country of Poland. And I'm very happy to be here on behalf of LOT Polish Airlines, our national carrier. As you mentioned, my name is Michalina Maliszewska, and I am an account manager based in Chicago, Illinois. And and I oversee the Midwest, but also help out in all the other regions of the world, as throughout the pandemic, our team is slightly smaller at this point, but we are very happy to service all of the agents, all of the travel agents in the US and in Canada. And I will talk to you about options for travel agents to book our tickets to Poland and beyond, and how to make it all possible to visit Poland and Europe with LOT Polish Airlines. So today I'll briefly talk to you about our great over 90 years of history, being one of the oldest airlines in Europe and in the world. I'll tell you about our network, which is coming back to its pre-pandemic levels, which we're very, very proud of. I'll definitely tell you about the US gateways, so the cities that we fly out of nonstop from the US to Poland and then beyond to other European destinations. Of course, safety always comes first for us, so I'll tell you briefly about the COVID safety precautions that we follow. Then we will. I'll show you a brief video. So I'll take you to the airport in Warsaw, which is our hub, and most of the flights that you or your clients will be taking get to Warsaw, and then from Warsaw we connect to pretty much anywhere in Europe if you decide to do so. Unless you wish to stay in Poland and see our beautiful country, and I'll tell you briefly about the domestic network that we have within Poland. And finally, the last section of my presentation would cover the 3 classes of service on our long haul routes from the US to Poland and to Europe on board of our great state-of-the-art Boeing 787 Dreamliner. And finally, as I mentioned, I will end with some travel agent resources for you to be able to smoothly book and get support from our reservations team. So as I mentioned, we are one of the oldest airlines in the world, founded in the late 20s of last century. We became the member of IATA in 1930, and flash forward to 2000s, we've been a member of Star Alliance for almost 20 years now, from 2003. We are very proud to be the first airline in Europe to fly the Boeing 787 Dreamliner that we still use on all of our long-haul flights to Europe, as well as those from Europe to Asia. And we did celebrate our 90th anniversary in 2019. I want to briefly talk to you about our basic statistics in terms of how much we've been growing in the past years. Of course, the growth, as with everyone else in our industry, stopped right in at the end of 2019 because of the pandemic. But 2019, as you may see, was our biggest, the top record year yet. We reached 10 million passengers, and I remember Magda talking about almost 20 million passengers, 20 million tourists, travelers visiting Poland. Half of that, 10 million people, we have flown on board of our aircraft. And just 5 years later, 2015-16, we had levels of 4 or 5 million passengers that we traveled with us annually, and we were at 10 million. And over 100 connections. So it was a great year. We've been growing very extensively right before the pandemic, and we are coming back to those levels, which I want to show you on our current network map. So as you see, we are all over Europe. So we fly from the US. So the top right-hand corner shows you a world map with North America, as you see, And the gateways that I will mention in the next slide, but out of the US through Warsaw with nonstop service, you can get to pretty much any destination in Europe. The red, I'm not sure if you can see well in terms of the colors, but there are some red and dark blue dots on the map. The red dots are seasonal destinations for summer vacations that we have added at the end of last year and this year, bringing back all of the hopefully post pandemic traffic. And we've added some of the destinations now reaching almost 100 connections that we haven't serviced before. So for instance, in Greece, we used to fly to 1 or 2 destinations. Now over this summer, we fly to actually 14 cities and islands in Greece. Also, talking about our network for the US travel agents, it's important to know that we are sort of a niche airline servicing the central, eastern, and southern parts of Europe. Not that many airlines go to those regions of Europe. So the ex-Yugoslavian countries, Podgorica, Montenegro, Dubrovnik, we fly to many cities in Croatia. All of those places, Ukraine, Lithuania, those Eastern European, Central and Southern European countries, you can get to on board of LOT Polish Airlines. So following that, let me tell you a little bit more about specific routes that we have out of the US. As I mentioned, I'm based in Chicago. So Chicago and New York City are our flagship gateways where we fly at this point again daily or twice a day. We've had 10, 11, or even 14 flights a week out of Chicago and New York City before the pandemic. That number went down, but we did continuously fly throughout the pandemic. So we did not stop the service, and we were able to continue the service. We are also fortunate to just starting in June, we brought back our gateways on the West Coast. So Los Angeles is back with service twice a week, and as well as Miami. So we fly nonstop from Miami. From Miami to Warsaw, and then beyond Warsaw, anywhere you want to go in Europe. So this little cheat sheet here shows you our current gateways and the nonstop service that we have from, as I mentioned, Chicago and JFK. Besides JFK on the East Coast, we also fly out of Newark to Warsaw, and Los Angeles to Miami are twice a week at this point. Besides, as Magda mentioned, we also service a beautiful city of Krakow, as we say Kraków in Polish, with a nonstop service out of Chicago and out of JFK. We are very proud to be bringing back the nonstop flight out of New York to Krakow after 16 years. Actually, we did not have that service, and now we do, which is a great success. We're very happy about that. And the last nonstop that we have that does not fly to Warsaw, but flies to Rzeszów, which is another city in the southern parts of Poland, very popular with our ethnic population. As Magda mentioned, we have over 10 million Polish Americans who continue to visit Poland and have been flying to Poland throughout the pandemic as well, if they could. That flight is out of a nonstop service from Newark. As I did mention, we follow very strict safety procedure in terms of the COVID-19 epidemic. We have a set of procedures called Fly Safe, Fly Lot, with disinfecting our planes, individual wrappings of the food we service, and there is many more to that. I will not spend much time on it. If anyone is interested to get a detailed list of everything, all the protocols that we follow, I'm very happy to send you that. But for the sake of time, I'll just let you know for sure that safety is our top priority. So our planes are disinfected, and HEPA filters catch 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. So it's very safe to fly with us. The 2 projects that I do want to mention, just to show you how flexible and responsive to the current situation our airline are the two projects that we have carried out throughout the pandemic is Light Home Flight, which was a series of rescue flights that actually were one of the not that many countries in the world that were able to accomplish that. We flew over 54,000 of Polish citizens from 70 countries and six continents throughout in the world home when they got stuck and the borders in the world got closed March last year and throughout April, May until June. That was a very successful operation. We have never flown to many of those cities and destinations in Asia and Africa and Southern Europe before. So it was an unusual, very successful, very hard to accomplish, but we are very proud of that operation that we carried out. And the second one, cargo to Poland, our beautiful Dreamliners were adjusted to carry medical goods to Poland and other countries to people that needed them during the pandemic. These are some of the safety protocols and some of the actions that we are still taking to make you feel safe and make you be safe on board of all of our planes. And now, what we are getting to the middle of my presentation. So I want to take you to, so from the US, you know where we are flying out of. So we are getting to our airport in Warsaw. So our hub in Warsaw is the Warsaw Chopin Airport, which is a compact, modern, great alternative to the very crowded airports in Europe, such as Munich or Frankfurt, Heathrow in the UK or Amsterdam. If you choose to fly with us, not to Poland, but beyond to any of the destinations that we get to, Warsaw Airport is a great place to transfer. As you see, we have one of the shortest minimal connection times. It used to be 30 minutes. Now it's closer to an hour to allow for all the safety procedures. There is more time to make a transfer. But the airport, the way the airport is structured, it's only one terminal. So it's easy to find the connecting gate. There is no, huge trains or like thousands and thousands steps of stairs that you have to take, or you don't have to run to catch your next flight. Something that I'm very happy to talk about because I've actually used it myself with my little children is a special family check-in zone, and we give priority to families with kids for check-in so they don't stand in big lines. And as you see, it's a very nice area where kids can safely play right next to the desk where you will be checking in as a parent with the little kids. And also a little note, there is a nice airplane structure that is kind of made into a playground at a different place at the airport. They're just thinking about reopening that for the kids, but when we were there, my 2-year-old loved playing with it. So I'm sure if there are families traveling with children and you get to find yourself in Warsaw, make sure to look at that for your kids. We have also, besides the kids, the facilities, great things for kids at the airport. We have wonderful business lounges for our business class passengers. There are 2 business lounges. One is called Mazurek, and you see one picture of it on screen. The second is called Polones. And those are obviously free for our business class passengers. Premium class passengers, premium cabin passengers can buy a one-time pass for 120 zlotys, which is approximately $30. And with wonderful food and great accommodations, it's definitely worth spending that $30 if your connection is longer in Warsaw. So this is how the international terminal looks like. So as you see, it's easy. There's 45 gates. Easy to find the gate you need to get to, and pretty straightforward, right? So at this point, if I could ask our great tech person to play the video that I have for you, just one word of an introduction. The video is very recent. It was just actually made by our marketing team for another presentation that we had for Visegrad Group, which is a group of 4 countries, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary, because we celebrated the 30th anniversary of that group. So it showcases for like 5 or 7 seconds, showcases those 4 countries for you as the destinations that you can go to from the US with LOT. But obviously, as I showed you on the map, we fly to many, many more countries in Europe that those 4 that you'll see in this particular video. And the video is 2 minutes long, so please enjoy. It starts right at the airport in Warsaw. I hope you enjoyed it. So it gave you an idea of how our airport looks like, the checking process, and you get on board of our aircraft. Magda has spent some time talking about Poland and what you can see, so I'm not going to take a lot of time here. And also you've seen some beautiful shots of Poland at the end of the video. But within Poland, when you get there, as you see, we have an extensive domestic network. So if you decide to travel, to any of the cities that Magda was also mentioning, and or you're there on your own, or you send your clients, you can get within pretty much 1 hour. Those flights are not longer than 1 hour to get to any of those cities within Poland, from Warsaw and then in between cities as well. So this, for some reason, got reformatted a little bit. At least I'm seeing that on my screen. But regardless, as you see, because of the central location of Warsaw within Poland, and then Poland is so centrally located in Europe, it's very easy to transfer and to get to pretty much any European destination from Warsaw. So when you get from the US to Warsaw, those flights to like Prague or Budapest, Vienna, but then also Paris and cities in Germany or cities in Italy, those flights are 1 hour 20 minutes, 1.5 hours, up to 2 hours, most of them. So very, very convenient. And lastly, the last section, and a big thing, because we are very proud of it, what I want to talk to you about is our state-of-the-art aircraft, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner that we use on all of the long-haul flights out of the US. In the video, I have another video that if you wish, I can send you a link to, because it's also on YouTube, on our channel on YouTube. There's a 60-second video that gives you a walkthrough through the Dreamliner and shows you the 3 classes of service that I will describe to you right now. I don't know if you are familiar with the Dreamliner, the Boeing 787 plane, but it's a state-of-the-art plane that is very comfortable to travel on. Those journeys, those flights that take anywhere between 8.5 to like 12.5, depends if you're flying out of Newark or New York or Los Angeles. Those are long hours on the plane, and we make sure that being on board of the Dreamliner, this journey is very comfortable. I apologize because I now see that the font, I'm not sure if you see the same thing, but I apologize if you have some weird looking words or fonts kind of grouped together here on this slide. I don't know why that happened. Got reformatted for some reason. So we have 3 classes of service on board of our Dreamliner on the flights out of the US to Europe: economy class, premium economy class, and business class. And this is what you saw on the video. We have 2 types of the Dreamliner that we use: the 787-8, which is the smaller one, and the 787-9, which is the largest plane that we have in our fleet. The 900, the -9 or -900 fits almost 300 passengers, so 249 seats in the economy class, 21 in premium, and 24 in business. Economy class is still very comfortable. We rarely get complaints. You're not cramped up, like your legs are not right, in front of your face sitting in our economy class cabin seats. We still serve complimentary drinks. You can enjoy great Polish beer or a glass of wine. Food is tasty as well, and you always get 1 piece of checked luggage, except the saver fares. There's a saver fare that is the cheapest one, which comes with no checked bag, but all the other fares come with at least 1 checked bag. So that's our economy class. Premium economy cabin is something that continuously we sell more and more of, because you pay a few $100s extra and you get to a completely separate cabin with a different standard of service. It's only 21 seats, the 2x3x2 configuration. The newer version of the Dreamliner gets a separate set of lavatories, so those passengers from premium economy don't have to go back to the end of the plane to use a restroom. There are 2 restrooms for them right up front for premium economy passengers. The menu uses some of the meals that are served for business class passengers, so it's different than the economy class, and very, very tasty. You get to have 2 checked bags, and actually this has changed. It's at this point 1 piece of 1 carry-on and 2 checked bags with all premium economy tickets, and that's due to U.S. regulations. You probably know that they changed carry-on allowances from 2 to 1 in both premium and business class cabins. So it's separate check-in. You check in with business class passengers. It's fast track when it comes to being at the airport and getting your luggage, and you can get the lounge pass for, as I mentioned, around $30 to use the business lounge in Warsaw if you wish. And then finally, our business class, our flagship product. Beautiful, wonderful. We get a lot of praise for it. Fully flat beds, so that 8-9 hours you can just go to sleep and relax and forget about everything, unless you want to eat delicious food and try our drinks. And there's a full bar menu of alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, snacks. You get your meals on actual plates, on china. So it's a great service. We've heard that some people call it an old first class service, and especially trained crew that takes care of those passengers. And it's more intimate than some other carriers business classes. So for instance, on the smaller Dreamliner, we have 18 seats in business class. On the bigger one, we have 24. So not like, say, Lufthansa's business class that would have 50 or 60 seats. This is very intimate setting with great care from our crew. And being a business class passenger, you can bring up to even 3 checked bags with you, and a carry-on and a big personal item. So that was everything about the classes of service. Please feel free. I'm gonna give you my email address at the end. And lastly, I want to finish with again just a bullet point list of the initiatives and projects that we take and we implemented towards being eco-friendly and taking care of our great environment. So we definitely participate in all of the European Union's efforts to limit emissions. And let me know if you need more information about that, because it's a whole presentation on its own. So I don't want to spend more time. And I do want to finish with giving you resources that you can use in your daily work if you decide to book tickets with us with Lot Polish. Great news is that we have a dedicated agent desk, so there's no need to call reservations. You also have the reservations number on the screen, but the top one, 212-789-0977. This is a help desk for travel agents from the US and Canada. Is the only dedicated to help and service you. And you also have the email address and AM, so North America agents@lot.com. We also have a portal for agents with all the information that you need to make your bookings and changes. And finally, I realized that I forgot to mention that being a member of Star Alliance, which we are for almost the past 20 years, your passengers get all of their miles that they would get and use to fly on United or Lufthansa in the future. So remember that, and also business class passengers get many more miles, and we award miles on mileage flown, not on the value on the cost of your ticket. So you know how many miles it is to cross the ocean, cross the Atlantic. So it's a good deal. Please let me know if you have any questions. My email address is also on the bottom of that last slide. I'm happy to answer questions. And thank you so much, Gabriela and Magda, for making this possible.
That was wonderful. And you hit me at the end where you say you actually get your flown miles credited. That's amazing. Other airlines could take a lesson. That is a wonderful perk to end up with. So thank you for all of that wonderful information. It was beautiful to go into that video, because a lot of us haven't been flying as much as we used to. So it was nice to feel like we were on board. Thank you for that. And thank you to everybody who was here for us to present today. It was really diverse, and it opened my eyes, and certainly I'm sure all of yours, to the wonders that await in Poland, whether it's food, whether it's nature, whether it's the beautiful airline that they take such pride in with the national carrier. And we look forward to welcoming you all to Poland soon. Everybody's contact information here will be distributed to you, so you can get in touch directly. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.